One thing I love about you is that the way you try to make the ecosystem more democratic. That is, when there are the fees is around 3 to 4 lakhs, which becomes unaffordable for someone from my background, having getting those courses for just 100 rupees, 200 rupees, and some course for 49 rupees, I remember. In my success, I have to dedicate the success to my mentors, my parents, and my family as well. Especially in UPSC preparation, the role of mentors is unmatchable and it is of utmost importance because there are people who are putting 15 hours of effort daily. If they are given right direction by the mentors, they will surely achieve the success, sir. So in there, I am very thankful to the mentors like you because having someone who has given 4 interviews, learning from them itself is not just about UPSC but also about life, sir. So the book you have written, the poems that you post in the group, the motivational words that you always say, motivate me as a person, not just as an aspirant, sir. I'm thankful to you, the whole Karmayogi team, and all the other supporting systems.
Hi Manoj, first of all, many congratulations for wonderful rank. And I'm so happy,
Excellent,
I'm
sir.
so glad to see you on the other side. I fondly remember the first time we had a chat, and this was through Zoom only, last time also. And you were, at that time, you had so many questions, confidence was settling a bit. But from there, coming here, it takes a lot, and you deserve all the laurels and all the success. So, what is your, now, first of all, the one message for all the aspirants community?
Sir, as you know, UPSC is a very long game. That is, it takes minimum 2 3 years of dedicated efforts. So we should never lose the confidence within ourselves. There are instances, especially in my case, after 2024 final results, I was shattered. I was facing that imposter syndrome, whether I truly belong here or not. There are so many people who are better than me. Should I be continuing this journey? But later, seeing the confidence the other people have kept in me, seeing how confident they were in me, I realized my own potential. So I corrected my mistakes. I scored 150 in the interview last time. I improved it to 190. I scored 190 in the optional. I improved it to 270. So if we correct our mistakes, so then we can improve and then we will reach the success, sir. Secondly, in my personal opinion, hard work has no substitute. So because we are competing with India's best minds, that is, we are competing with IITians, MBBS, MD graduates, then foreign returns, those who have worked in World Bank and all. So if you have to compete with them, the only way we can stand up to them is through hard work. So if they are putting 10 hours, we have to put 12 hours, 15 hours just to be in the final list, sir. So that is why keep putting that hard work. That will finally, one or the other day, it will finally bear that fruit. So these are some of my messages. Another message that I learned from the community is that never hesitate to ask for suggestions, ask for mentorship, ask for guidance. That is because if we, as you know, there are 20,000 students who miss the prelims cutoff by just 2 marks every year. Means if they had gotten that one question right, they would have been eligible to write mains. So in that case, so sometimes we hesitate. Oh, what that person may feel for this silly doubt. But that question, had we gotten it right, maybe that would save us 2 3 years. That is why that hesitation factor shouldn't be there. Always, even if it is a very silly doubt, ask your mentors, seniors, ask the toppers. People are there to help us only if we have the courage to approach them.
And who saw your result? Did you saw the result, open the list, or someone else?
Sir, as you know, in the first interview, we will be very excited. So I opened the list last time, and when I was not in the list, I was devastated. So this time, more than excitement, I had that nervousness. So I remember it was around 2 o'clock. So I was just chit-chatting with my friends because of the anxiety and all. Then I saw the Telegram groups. It was flooded with the PDF. So then at that particular moment, I was not even having the courage to open the list. So, and I opened the list, accumulating all the courage I had. I saw the first two pages. I saw that my name was not there in the first two pages. I was like, oh, Isal bhi gaya. Then I closed the PDF. I was like very sad. But as soon as I closed the PDF, one of my seniors messaged me, congratulations, Manoj, AIR 389. Then I was like, then I collected myself. Then I opened the PDF. I checked my roll number, I checked my name and all. Then immediately I collapsed to the ground. So like it was a moment that I can never forget, sir.
And what was your parents' reaction? Did you call them or somebody else called them?
As soon as I saw the results, I called my father. So like even I was crying, he was crying, and like he was collapsing. My mother on the call was like what happened? Your father is unable to talk. He is like even unable to stand. What happened? What happened? Then I told her that like I have cleared this exam. My whole family was like very happy. Like especially in my case, more than happiness, it is a bit of relief, especially considering that it has been a 4 year long journey and considering all the sacrifices they have made, all the trust they had kept in me. Finally, it was a moment that bore the fruits for all the courage they had shown in this process, sir.
And you are from Karnataka.
Yes, sir.
From where in Karnataka?
Sir, in Karnataka, a small village named Gurujanahalli, which is a part of Sakleshpur. So Sakleshpur falls under the Western Ghats. So in Kannada, we call ourselves Malenadu Jana. That is the people from Malnad region. So it is in the Asan district, sir, the Western Ghats part of Karnataka.
Anything you want to say to the people of Karnataka in Kannada?
ಸರ್ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಚಿರಋಣಿ. ನನಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ತಾಯ್ನಾಡಾಗಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದು ನನ್ನ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ್ಮಗಳ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಲ್ನಾಡು ಹುಡುಗನಾಗಿ ಏನ್ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ನನ್ನ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಶೇಪ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಲ್ನಾಡಿನ ಏನು ಪಾತ್ರ ಇದೆ, ಹಾಗೆ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ಜನ ಎಷ್ಟು ನನಗೆ ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ಮುಖದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಸ್ಮೈಲ್ ಇದೆ ಅದು ಬಂದಿರೋದು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಿಂದ. ನಾನು ಏನು ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಕಲ್ತಿರೋದು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಿಂದ. ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ಲಿ ಎಂದೇ ಇರ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಯಾಗಿ ಇಡೀ ದೇಶ ಸೇವೆಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೊರಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಬಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಇರ್ಲಿ ನಾನೊಬ್ಬ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗ. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಎವರ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಎ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗ, ಸರ್.
And you, starting from the stage one itself, so prelims
Yes.
examination, you were clearing it again and again. So what was your strategy?
Sir, I will walk you through my journey, especially for prelims. So I graduated in the year 2023, sir. So I graduated in April 2023 and I gave prelims in May 2023. So fortunately, I was able to crack that prelims. So, and 2023 prelims was the monstrous one. So, and fortunately, 25 also, I have been able to clear prelims with a good margin of 20 marks. So in my case, what worked for me is the reverse engineering we develop as engineers. So in that case, so far I have solved nearly 40,000 MCQs so far. So across all the years. In college itself, during the final year of college, so I solved from January to June, I solved minimum 15,000 MCQs. So because I had already written JEE examination, I knew the importance of practice in objective-based examinations. That is, in the end, in prelims, we are going to face MCQs. So to face MCQs, we have to practice through MCQs. Then, as we solve more and more MCQs, we will find patterns. So the questions getting repeated, the themes getting repeated. So then, because as you know, like the market will be flooded with 500,000 themes for current affairs itself. But as the themes get repeated through a lot of practice, you will realize which are the important 50 themes that we should be focusing upon rather than trying to cover all the 1,000 themes. So through practice, I used to do that, sir. So during prelims, I have given more than 40 to 50 full-length tests every year. So full-length tests, as we keep on giving, so what happens is that our perspective, our way of thinking, our way of approaching MCQ-based examination also develops. And another thing, this is said by all the toppers, that is PYQ analysis, that is non-negotiable. What do we mean by PYQ analysis? In PYQ analysis, we have to go 3 steps. That is, seeing the PYQ and the solution. The second step is through going all the way till the 1990s. The third, the most important step that most students miss is that taking every keyword that is given in PYQ, irrespective of whether it is given in the question, option, or the solutions, then reverse engineering that keyword and researching on that particular keyword. I remember there was a PYQ in 2018 about Arakta, that a water harvesting system. So I had Googled it. It came in 2025. I was very happy that it got repeated. And most of the times, nearly 60% of the themes in prelims also get repeated. But we do not go deep into the PYQ analysis. That's where we miss sometimes, sir. And not only UPSC, CSC PYQs, I used to solve a lot of CDS as well as CAPF as well as the geoscientist questions also. So sometimes in history and polity, many of the questions that were asked in CAPF, CDS only were getting directly repeated in UPSC also. So this is what I feel helped me crack prelims 3 times successively, sir.
Were you also maintaining notes of previous year question themes?
Sir, in my case, I was following a unique approach. So till for a week, I was completely studying in my mobile. That is, whatever I study, whatever new points I get, I used to put them in a Telegram group or a WhatsApp group personally. Then what I used to do is that at the end of the week, on Sunday, I used to sit down and write down everything that I have written in that particular digital notes into my offline notes. So what used to happen is that the revision is also happening, and I'm getting conceptual clarity also. And I am able to arrange my notes in a very structured manner. So like I used to make notes of the points that I cannot recall at all. And I used to make points in keywords rather than in the long sentences. I used to make the points in keywords. And when I was revising, if I am not able to understand what that particular keyword means, that means I have not understood the concept. Then I have to go back to the whole concept, trying to understand the whole perspective and the whole concept itself, sir.
Very wonderful approach. For CSAT, you were doing anything or you had a very good foundation?
Sir, as you mentioned, I am from, I had written Indian National Mathematics Olympiad. So, and coming from a JEE background, so I feel blessed that I did not face the CSAT issues. So I had the scores of 156 and 130 in CSAT. So in my case, but the people say that it was talent, but that talent happened only because of the practice I had put in during my class 11th and 12th. I still remember during my JEE days, my mentor used to make me solve 3 JEE papers in a single day. That is like, that used to be very saturating. That used to be so like I had to put in a lot of efforts for that. But that is what I did in the previous years, helped me crack prelims in these years as well, the CSAT aspect. And in CSAT, one thing that I always suggest to my mentees is that first of all, sit down, take 2025 question number 1, try to solve it on your own. Maybe you may take 5 minutes, you may take 10 minutes, solve it on your own. Then if you don't get it, then look at some solution. Then do it for the question 2, question 3. In the end, in the examination hall, we have to sit down and we have to solve those. So what happens is that sometimes, I'm not blaming anyone, sometimes because of fear, we watch some CSAT videos, then we expect ourselves to solve it directly in the examination hall. Even if we are getting the best mentors in India, only if we practice on our own, we will get the results, sir. That is why, like, take 2025 paper, solve it on your own. If you can't solve it, then look for the solution. Then do it for 24, 22, 21, 20. You yourself will see the pattern, the number of questions getting repeated. For example, there is that UPSC's favorite question, that is 711, 77 and 1001. That question always gets repeated. So we ourselves will start recognizing the patterns, the themes, the questions that we can do easily. If we don't practice, what happens is that in the examination hall, we will solve the questions 1, 2, 3, 4. So like we may not be able to solve all those questions. But if you have practiced a lot, what happens is that we will be able to identify the themes which we are strong at, then choose the questions accordingly. question number 1. Oh, I have solved this before, I can solve this. Question number 4, question number 5, 7, 8, 21, like that, sir.
And there is a lot of debate about the number of questions that should be attempted in prelims, specifically in general study. So how many questions you were attempting? Were you going before examination with a number, or you were deciding on the go?
Sir, I'm a very bold personality, so I always used to go with some number around the 90, sir. So I had a particular strategy which may not be applicable to everyone. I had a strategy of 60, 30, 10. That is, if we are scoring 100 marks in prelims, irrespective of the category, irrespective of the year, we will be clearing prelims. That is, our target should be 100 marks rather than 90 or 85. So that is, we have to get 60 correct, 30 wrong, and 10 we have to leave unattempted. So in that, the questions, that is, like I used to be calm and collected, saying to myself that I have 40 questions. Now, I shouldn't be even solving them. All I have to solve is 60 questions correctly. So I used to attempt in that particular manner. Even my mock test, I used to attempt using that particular strategy, sir. But it depends year on year. Because in 2023, we had attended 1995. There is a very high probability of getting it wrong. In those years, 80, 85 is a safe number. Based on the situation, we have to adapt ourselves. But I feel anything above 80 should be attempted, because below 80 is very risky, considering the number game. If we use the probability calculations and all, we will realize anything below 80 is very risky. So you have to solve around 80 to 90 is a very safe zone, sir.
Did you also take any foundation course, or you started your preparation on your own?
Sir, I start COVID years were a blessing for me. So during COVID years, I studied my NCERT books, as well as I studied some standard books, and I roamed around a lot. So I traveled a lot during those years. And after that COVID year, in my final year, so I started preparing for the prelims and the standard books. I covered all the standard books and prepared for prelims. In my case, I did it so because I knew that like to afford even 2-3 lakhs for foundational coaching was too much of a burden on my parents, and it would have been impossible for them to bear that amount of a cost. I come from a very humble background, so if I clear prelims 2023, I will have the credibility to ask for any support systems. That, see, I have cleared prelims 2023 in college itself. If you support me, if you guide me, like you can completely keep the confidence in me that if you guide me properly, I will surely clear the whole process. So I wanted to prove it to the people, to prove it to the mentors or any support system that I am a capable student. So that is why I focused completely on prelims 2023. And fortunately, I was able to clear it, sir. And after that, because I wrote mains soon after my graduation, after that, like I didn't need any foundational coaching. I focused on preparation and further preparation accordingly.
For a complete beginner, to choose the optional becomes a very difficult task. So how did you choose your optional?
For optional, I used one strategy. That is, first of all, I completed my GS preparation. That is GS 1, 2, 3, 4. There I saw which areas interest me. So like for me, like GS2, that is polity and governance, I found it very enriching, because in governance, it is all about examples. And I love case studies, I love examples a lot. So that is why I chose public administration. And for someone, I think they can look for sociology optional, or if they find polity very interesting, they can look for PSIR. That is why I always recommend first complete your GS preparation. Don't rush into choosing an optional, because you have to stick with that optional for minimum 4-5 years. So if that journey is that long, that is why be very careful with optional choosing. And in my case, so I chose public administration as my optional. What I did is that before choosing the optional, I went through PYQs of and syllabus of all the other optionals available. Anthropology, sociology. As I come from engineering background, they were too theoretical in the sense too much keywords that which I can't remember. So like I chose public administration, which was more dynamic. Then I did it after analyzing the syllabus after, as well as the previous year questions, sir. There I asked myself, will I be able to attend this question in the real examination? Then, to be honest, till my prelims 2023, till clearing it, I didn't know anything about public administration optional. Like, I got to know about the public administration chapters only after clearing prelims 2023. And funnily, I got 250 that year in public administration optional. Then after that, like I prepared very dedicatedly for my optional. So in 2024, in the year I gave interview, I got 190. So it's a funny journey in my case. And fortunately, I corrected my mistakes there. And this year I got 270, which I feel is a respectable score in an optionals.
Definitely, it is. Okay, so another thing which is very, very difficult to start is answer writing. So answer writing is, the first question is when to start, how to start, and how to sustain, because it is not something which is interesting in the initial time. So how did you cope up?
Answer writing is non-negotiable in UPSC journey, sir. That is, in answer writing, there is a misconception about writing and answer writing. Answer writing is what, like we are presenting an answer in a very structured manner through good presentation, through structuring, through keywords, points, examples, everything. So what happens is that whenever students start answer writing, they write underconfident. Oh, I am not up to the mark. And they leave it there. They don't even practice anymore. But I always suggest writing for the students who are beginning right now. That is, if you complete, let's say, local self-governance or governor, just sit down for 5 to 10 minutes. Write down whatever you have read so far in that particular theme or concept for 5 to 10 minutes. You don't need to write it as an answer. Just write for 5 to 10 minutes and do it for every concept that you read. Try to recollect immediately whatever you have read and then compare from your notes or any book. What points have you missed that you have learned? So what happens there is that you are also revising, the active revision is happening, your writing practice is happening. So by the time you complete your syllabus for all the subjects, so you are having that writing practice also. And after that, you can start your structured answer writing preparation. So usually what people do is that they complete one round of reading, they directly jump into answer writing, which they won't be able to pick it up. So there, the issue lies there, they will face underconfidence. That is why, like, we may not be able to see the 100 steps ahead, but if you are able to see the next step, just follow the next step. It will take us to the next step and the journey continues. That is why, sir, start writing now. Minimum, especially for the students who are starting now, start writing. Answer writing will take care of itself through mentors, through topper copies and everything else.
And how did you make notes for general study subject? General study 1, 2, 3, 4. What was your strategy?
Sir, in my case, the topper copies are the Bhagavad Gita of UPSC preparation. That is, I have seen you posting a lot of essay copies in your channel as well. So I benefited a lot from them as well. That is, I love topper copies because I believe in a quote that is, you are the average of 5 people with whom you spend your maximum time with. That is, if we spend our maximum time with 5 people, we will become average of their personalities. So I literally studied topper copies for 6 months from after my first mains. So like I used to look, they are the toppers in that particular subject. What made them the toppers? For example, if I can take names, Aditya Sir gives brilliant antithesis in GS papers. And from Kunal Rastogi sir, I understood the importance of writing more number of points and more number of dynamic example rich points, keyword rich points. So this way I used to develop my own thinking about what a good answer should be. So from there, I used to make my notes. That is, I used to pick keywords from the topper copies, research on my own, and use that keyword in my notes, then in my answers. So, and the same way, my notes used to be focusing upon the areas which are very new to me, the examples or the keywords or the statistics which are very new to me, rather than the keywords that I can already remember. For example, if you come to the governor, let's say Article 200, 201, 153, we will already be knowing it. So I wouldn't be writing those points in my notes, but I will be focusing on some keywords, very such as gubernatorial, lateral powers, or any governor. Recent examples like such as Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Rajasthan, those examples. I used to focus more on those aspects. And to be honest, I feel like I was rewarded for that. Like I scored around 420, 430 in 2024 mains as well when I did this particular exercise. And I used to maintain my notes completely in a digital mode. So it was easy to update, as well as I was not spending much time on writing in an offline mode. That is, I used to directly practice through answer rating rather than making offline digital notes. And in the end, between the prelims and mains here, I used to make offline notes. So there I was saving a lot of time through digital notes as well. At the same time, I was getting enough practice through answer rating as well, sir.
And you have a very good score in ethics. So what was your strategy with respect to ethics?
Sir, in ethics, I have seen so many toppers. So one thing that particularly worked, so I will tell my scores first, that is 120 and 125. So I feel like which are respectable scores. So yeah, in ethics, I stopped using the already well-known examples, sir. So I made a list of 30 very unique IAS IPS officer achievements, very unique, that were not used in previous toppers or any, that is not used by any other people. So those 20 to 30, I made sure that I am bringing those examples in my ethics paper in both 2024 as well as 2025, sir. And ethics, I used to collect very good keywords. For example, let's say there is a word called as Nisham Karma in ethics, which is used by everyone. But I used to look for alternatives, similar words, that is the Karma Phala Tyaga, which is the same meaning, but it stands out from Nisham Karma, which everyone uses. So in the end, mains is what? Standing apart from the crowd. So if we do something very unique, we will get rewarded for that. So I used to do things like this. Like rather than writing truth, I used to write veracity, something like that. So those new keywords I used to use. And even like I always read a lot of philosophies. I brought existentialism, stoicism in my ethics answers as well, which made my answers very dynamic. And I don't remember the topper. They had suggested using mythological examples. I brought them a lot of mythological examples in my answers as well. And in case studies, I feel like what I used to do is that in front of the every course of action, I used to mention the keyword. I used to put a bracket, the reason I used to mention. For example, the principle, any principle that I would be using in this particular case. So, principle of veracity, principle of doctrine of public trust. So I used to write keywords like that. And I feel like I am writing the course of action as well. At the same time, I am giving ethical reasoning for that particular answer, particular course of action as well, which made my answers stand out there. And in ethics, what worked for me is the topper copy, sir. So because we have to understand that the toppers to write that 10 marker in 7 minutes, they have put in 3-4 years, minimum 3-4 years of efforts. And we are getting that, we are trying to analyze that within 15 minutes. That means we should be working in the smart way here. That is learning through toppers, correcting the mistakes they have made in the past, rather than trying to do everything on our own. So this is my approach for ethics, sir.
And how did you prepare for case studies?
Sir, I feel in ethics case studies, so ethics is also about personality as much as a subject. So we shouldn't look at ethics and essay as just UPSC subjects. So then we will limit ourselves. So what I used to do is that I used to discuss a lot with my peers about the particular case study. How would that particular person approach that particular situation? So when we discuss like that, we will have broader perspectives, a broader course of actions that we can take, or we can correct our thought process if we are wrong sometimes. So in my case, I was lucky to get interview call in the year 2024. And because I had practiced a lot during my interview preparation for situational questions also, they helped me immensely in my ethics case study answers also. In ethics case study answers, like if I know the context, why they have asked that particular question, For example, there was a question about illegal immigration in 2025. So I used to give the context. This is the context. So these are and I used to bring a lot of ethical keywords there as well, philosophical aspects there as well. And in every case study, for every theme of case study, I prepared a quote to conclude my answer. So, for example, for integrity-based questions, if there is a question on corruption, so there was a very good quote, that is, every rupee of corruption, that is, I guess you only told it. So every rupee of corruption, every rupee that goes into the corruption is a rupee taken away from a mother who is trying to feed her children, and a rupee taken away from a student who is trying to get a good education. So I used to mention quotes like this. So that is to be my USP, that is unique selling point.
Yeah, that is something, and you are honest always. I have seen you in the mock interviews as well, and that reflects. Once you are living ethics as a subject, not just trying to portray artificially. I have seen people who are now definitely there are people who fake also, but majority of people who are honest in their personality, they get good marks in ethics. So that is true for you, definitely. And having known you for now a couple of years, so I can say it. For essays now, so now we do not have anything for essay now, and there is a lot of confusion. So how you were approaching essays?
Sir, the one subject that I enjoyed a lot are essays. So what I understood after giving 2023 and 24 mains is that essay is all about dimensions and perspectives. So when I was taking free answer writing classes here in Bangalore itself, there when I was teaching essay, so I was making the class more conversational. So the point that the students used to bring, I used to wonder, wow, what a beautiful perspective. That is, essay is about our personality and the learning mindset. So there is Carl Gilligan's learning growth mindset. That is, essay is all about that. So like I used to watch a lot of biography based movies, read a lot of personality development books, which I directly used to quote in the essays. That is, let's say if there is a book issue, if there is a essay on climate change, I used to bring the book How to Avoid a Climate Disaster by Bill Gates. So if the essay is on happiness, I used to write. I used to bring the example of The Art of Happiness by Dalai Lama. And if the question is on perseverance, I used to bring about the book and the movie. That is the boy who brought electricity, something like that. That African story. So I used to bring very unique examples like this, and also like I attended a lot of your classes as well. There I also see the importance of bringing the perspectives of other side, that is the antithesis aspect, and then in synthesis, like bringing those practical examples, practical perspectives into the place. So that's what I feel like helped me in essay as well, sir.
Definitely, it helped, and one of the very difficult thing in life is to keep on walking despite getting failures in life, and many a times you feel that you are not worth it. Were you feeling all of this someday or many days, and how you were overcoming them?
Sir, it is the part and parcel of this journey, sir. We will feel underconfident. We will feel hopeless. We feel like we have lost everything. So in my case, seeing my struggle, seeing my father struggle every day, considering that I was a 24, 25-year-old, taking support from my parents rather than supporting them was giving me a lot of guilt as well. But and even after the 2024 results, where I failed very badly, I lost a lot of confidence there in after seeing the results. But I feel that is where the importance of support systems lies. Like I after that results, when I talk to my seniors, mentors, friends, parents, family, everyone, seeing the amount of confidence they are kept in me, they were like, "Oh, you missed this year. You will surely crack it next year." Like you are like that helped me immensely to get back that confidence in myself as well, sir. And also another thing is that uh, So it is also about the growth mindset and learning mindset. That is, in my 2023, in GS3, I got 59, which was very low score. That is why I saw that 59 rather as a opportunity to improve 30, 40 marks rather than an excuse that I am not good at this particular subject. So I was able to improve it to 100, which was one of the highest scores in GS3 in 2024. The same happened in my optional as well. In there, I scored 190, which is the lowest among the people who made it to interview that year. So from 190, I was able to improve it to 270. So having that growth mindset, oh, where did I go wrong? Why did I make this particular mistake? How can I get that half marks extra in each question in mains? So which examples can I bring in? If we think it like that, we will see a lot of areas, opportunities to improve. So there, we will start gaining back that confidence, and at the same time, having that moral support important. So, I always suggest to my mentees, that is, discuss with them what is happening, where are the issues you are facing. They have seen more life than we have ever seen. So their perspectives about life will enrich as a person, not just as an aspirant, sir.
Very true. And now, one of the subject you told you scored very high marks, General Study 3, and people are struggling a lot in GS3 to even go past 80 marks. Many of the aspirants who have given interviews also are struggling to cross 80. So, what worked for you? What you did different from coming from 50s to 100 marks? What was the strategy that you try to implement?
Sir, in GS3, because all the subjects are very dynamic and current affairs oriented. So what I did was that for every point I used to mention an contemporary example. That is an example from the year 2024 and 25. So, and I used to bring new concepts like economic thinkers, contemporary economic thinkers, such as Sanjeev Sanyal, Arvind Subramanyam, someone like that. Their perspectives, such as Montek Singh Ahluwalia, their perspectives about that particular question. And I made sure that I am bringing quotes from those people. For example, finance minister said some quotes during budget, or used some keywords during budget, or our honorable prime minister said some quotes or some keywords during his speeches. The honorable president has said some keywords. So I used to bring them along. And even in other aspects, I used to try to connect them to the 2025 current affairs only. My every introduction, rather than giving definition-based examples, introductions, I used to give contemporary-based, context-based examples. Why this particular question is asked, I used to directly hit the bullseye in the introduction itself. And another thing that I had learned from Aditya Sir is the importance of subparts. That is, we have to divide our answers into as many subparts as possible and try to address them. And like even in our conclusions, we have to move beyond the SDG and those already overused conclusions. We have to think contemporary. For example, in agriculture-based questions, I used to bring as well Ashok Dalwai committee suggestions and all. So like in the conclusions itself. And another thing which helped me is writing way forward, whether it is asked or not. So that is, if they are asking about challenges, I used to write the solution and then the way forward, what can be done in the future also. So that like may give us that half marks extra, because if we take it like cumulatively for 20 questions, that half marks extra will become 10 marks. That is where the difference lies, sir.
And now personality test has become very important. People in huge numbers are scoring more than 200, and there is a large chunk of people who are not able to cross 160 marks. So what changes you brought now from the last interviews, and how you modulated your personality, what you practiced to enhance marks?
Sir, in 2024, when I gave interview, so I can say I was a bit raw, fresh, and a bit immature as well. My answers used to be more emotional rather than rational and objective. I had prepared well. I had put in the efforts, but I was not ready yet that year. So when I went to my interview that year, I was very overwhelmed. I remember sitting in front of Sanjay Verma sir's board. Sir is trying to calm me down. Sir is being very cordial, but I am able to compose myself. I am unable to compose myself. My eyes were filled with tears. I am unable to see the whole panel itself. Then I bluffed because of the underconfidence that I was facing and all. Then it acted like a moment of enlightenment to me. I became stoic within just that one interview. So after that interview, I decided that I should be working on my personality because if I become an officer, I do not have any excuses to get emotional, to get overwhelmed. That is, my thought process should be very objective and rational. I should be very confident and bold. So this is what I thought after my interview, sir. Then in 2025 interview, I gave more than 130 one-on-ones and mocks, 130. Like I was unforgiving on myself. I was very brutal on myself. But my perspective was that I was keeping that interview from UPSC perspective aside, but I was focusing on personality development. That means if I am having a conversation with you, like who is having more years of experience than me, there will be that one point I can take away from you. The same way, if I am talking to a retired bureaucrat who is 70 years old, I can get that one point of learning from that 70-year-old bureaucrat, which will help me as a person. So I took the interview process as a personality development exercise rather than focusing on the UPSC results aspect. That is, UPSC interview will be just for 20-30 minutes. So we cannot say. Sometimes even if you are very well prepared, we may get 150. Sometimes on our good days, we get 200. But our focus should be on personality development to improve our thinking, to improve our multidimensional, rational, objective thinking, rather than to worry about the marks. So that is why when I went to interview this time, I minimum to 8 to 10 questions, I said, I don't know, sir, I don't know, ma'am. And in some questions, like in very basic questions, I was not able to answer. But throughout the interview, I never lost my smile. I never lost my confidence. And even the board was very pleased seeing how confident I was. So that is where the difference, because it was not the matter of knowledge. It was not, so it was the matter of transformation of personality that had happened within 1 year, sir.
Any very interesting question that was asked to you in personality test?
There are few, sir. The first question was like Karnataka Mysore sandal soap. So Mysore sandal soap was a shocker for me. So they asked me, what is Mysore sandal soap? Who started it? Then they asked me a question. The government has so many functions. Why do you think it is making soaps? Doesn't it have any other thing to do? Then should we privatize Mysore sandal soap and all? Then another very good question was, they asked me how many engineering colleges are there in Karnataka. I said, I don't know. They were like, take a guess. I said 1,000. They were very shocked because then they corrected me saying that 300. It was only 300. Then I was like, I am very sorry, sir. I didn't know the answer. So then I was very composed there. And then they asked me about the Siliguri corridor. So the Siliguri corridor, and they asked me, do you know any strategic choke points like Siliguri corridor in the west of India? So I said, I don't know, sir. Like they also gave that answer themselves. And in so many questions like that, they also asked me about the backup plan. That is, they asked me, like, you have such a good NCC background. Then why didn't you go for CFPF? Why didn't you prepare for it? There, I was being very clear. That is, sir, I am focusing on my UPSC preparation till my 3 attempts. So I will give dedicated 3 attempts. And after that, I will start thinking about plan B. Now, if I try to focus on multiple exams, my efforts may get diluted. That is why I'm not trying to put my legs in 2 boats, sir. So they were very impressed with that answer as well, sir. And in the end, because I had INMO, that is Indian National Mathematics Olympiad, they asked me a puzzle. That is, how many times can we remove 5 from 25? Subtract 5 from 25. I had because maths is my passion, I knew the answer. I said only once. Because once you subtract 5 from 25, it won't be 25 anymore. It will be 20. So they were like, "Oh, you have been prepared very well." They were very happy with that answer as well, sir. Please give me. I went to my interview. I was sweating a lot. Then I asked the board before answering this particular question, ma'am, can I take a tissue? The board was very happy because I asked that particular question, and they were like, they asked me to take the tissue and they asked me to remove my blazer as well. I was very happy, like, and I removed the blazer there itself. Then Anuradha ma'am went on to turn off all the heaters in that room. And then the next question was, what is the function of sweating? So I told them, sir, sweating acts as a temperature regulatory mechanism, and it acts like a fight or flight mechanism. That is, when we are nervous, it acts like a fight or flight mechanism. So then they asked me why fight or flight. Then I said, ma'am, in the interview, everyone will face nervousness. When we are nervous, we sweat, ma'am. So the whole board laughed for that answer. Like, we had a very cordial interview this time. So yes, sir.
And I can remember you gave mock interview to us in the earlier attempt. So this was the spirit which took you to here. You were always trying to improve and imbibe new things. So I still remember that your message came, sir, I want another mock interview.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot for your support as well during interview preparation, even for essay and ethics as well. I have benefited a lot from you. Especially one thing I love about you is that the way you try to make the ecosystem more democratic. That is, when there are the fees is around 3 to 4 lakhs, which becomes unaffordable for someone from my background, having getting those courses for just 100 rupees, 200 rupees, and some course for 49 rupees, I remember. So those courses benefit immensely. And I have to convey my thanks. It's a very genuine, heartfelt thanks to you. Thank you, sir.
Always welcome, dear. And one thing which I'm very, very sure about you is that you are a very honest person. And country needs people who have come from grassroots. If you see the list, there are hardly 10-15% who can match your experience with respect to knowing the ground reality, since you have come from somewhere which is not privileged background. You have fought hard to come here, and you have fought hard through getting education, studying hard, and one day you will get what you deserve. So this will surely help. Now, wherever you are posted, it doesn't matter which cadre, which place you will be posted, but that will definitely. But I am not now satisfied with this, as I told previously that you are a hungry person. So I want improvement next year, top 50.
Thanks a lot for your kind words, sir. I will not stop here. I will put my best effort, sir. In the end, everything is not planned.
And I'm very sure you will get in there because you are striving for always betterment and excellence. And I'm so glad to talk to you always. And it has been, you are a very positive personality and always someone who is very humble, not taking the success to head, and just keep this momentum. And it country needs people now who are sitting on the top or having power, authority to be humble and there would be many Manojs sitting in that Hassan district itself. So they would need you. Now they would need people who understands their pain. So my only one request will be, whether you are continuing as an IPS or an Indian Administrative Service officer, just continue how you are.
Yes, thanks a lot, sir. And also, in my success, I have to dedicate the success to my mentors, my parents, and my family as well. Especially in UPSC preparation, the role of mentors is unmatchable, and it is of utmost importance, because there are people who are putting 15 hours of effort daily. If they are given right direction by the mentors, they will surely achieve the success, sir. So in there, I had one of the best mentors in my personal case. I had Chandrasekhar sir, you, and my mentors in Bengaluru as well, who have helped me immensely. So I am very thankful to the mentors like you, because having someone who has given 4 interviews, learning from them itself is not just about UPSC, but also about life, sir. So the book you have written, the poems that you post in the group, the motivational words that you always say, motivate me as a person, not just as an aspirant, sir. I'm thankful to you, the whole Karmayogi team, and all the other supporting systems for all their continued support. Thanks a lot again, sir.
Thank you, Manoj. And I am just no, I am touching the wood, which is here for next year, another interview and seeing you in top 50. And we will conduct again, and we will then discuss how you improved from 120 to probably 140 plus in ethics, and similarly for essay and other papers. And maybe 215 or 220 people are getting in the personality test.
Thanks a lot for your wishes, sir.
And thank you for your time, and just take care. You are coming from somewhere, and then you agreed for a talk which will benefit a huge number of people. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Like in future also, like if you want to help, if you want me to help someone, like I am more than willing to help them, sir. Because in this process, we both have learned a lot. So our success lies in giving back to the community, helping more aspirants, guiding in the right direction, sir. So that is why I'm trying to mentor as many students as possible in Bengaluru also. In future also, like if my strategies can help other aspirants save 2-3 years of their life, I'm more than happy to help them. Like, thanks for providing the platform, sir.
Thank you, and I will definitely ask you, because people are there now who are preparing from nooks and corners of India. People are preparing from Manipur, and I receive messages of students coming from Manipur, not having any kind of background, not having financial capability to come to Delhi and prepare in big institutes, charging 2-3 lakh rupees. So we would need people like you who have already crossed the path, and you people can show them direction, and also assure them that if I have done it, you also can do it. Because I also came from a background which is quite humble. And thanks to your parents for giving such values, because the values that you have definitely came, a larger chunk came from your parents.
Yes.
Take care of yourself. We will
Thanks
be.
a lot, sir.
Thank you.